Okay, so I want to touch briefly again on marriage fraud, and I want to address the issue of premarital agreements. Well, the thing that those are is they are premarital agreements. And, like, if you have nothing, you really don't need a premarital agreement. But what I found with my husband is that he just wanted to exclude me from everything. So he technically had his own premarital agreement for himself, which I never had a lawyer. And so what we had was, well, he had his own for himself. But it was just something that when he had his lawyer had me initial on it as a witness because he needed to have a witness. So he had me initial on it. So I was there, but I never had a premarital agreement. So the thing is if you have two people, now my ex-husband's premarital agreement was related to he had a revocable trust. So he can do all these things himself. And so he even took some documentation where it was when had his companion, he was living with her. And he took it from a time when I was married to someone else, and he just plugged my name into it. So it wasn't even like he created anything any new. He just took the old paperwork and plugged my name into it as a beneficiary to everything, and a beneficiary to everything if something happened to him, and then what to do. Now his kids by then they were all grown. He just had left his daughter. And so at that time we weren't married. So he says, well, if I die, you get everything. That's what he was telling me. Now once we got married, to me that was a horse of a different color because of the fact it's like, well, I'd heard of people doing post-nuptial agreements. But the thing is, it's like, well, I'm married. It's like, I think the house should be in my name. I mean, I'm contributing to the house and I'm paying for the house. There's things I've done. I mean, I'm a wife. And so I'm going to have to make another video about this too, because women are treated really, really poorly in many, many circumstances when it comes to equal division of property. And a lot of times women have no place to go after a marriage, because men are always like, well, it's my money. I got the money coming in. It's my house, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Well, then the courts can stick him with a judgment of, well, you're going to pay your wife this much money based off of this amount of time. And so it's like, but then she's still with inflation and she still ends up homeless. But I would say, no, do not sign a premarital agreement ever, because that's a big telltale sign about him.